Hello, welcome to Life After War. This is your favorite combat female veteran, Sandra Robinson. Today I have with me a guest, a special guest, Joyce Gilliard. She's going to share with us her story on life after war. Her war was not a military conflict, it was actually a medical procedure. Thank you, Joyce, for coming today. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I'm Joyce Gilliard, and I recently experienced a war, and it wasn't expected. I had recently an eye surgery procedure. I expected to be healed and back to work in a couple of weeks, but that couple of weeks turned into almost 3 months. The procedure, I thought it was going to be a quick, painless procedure, but it turned out to be the total opposite. The procedure taught me a lot of things. My expectation for patience, it tested my expectation to have more patience. So that's something that I developed throughout the time that I was out of work. I had to be patient to heal. I was expecting to heal and be back to work. The procedure didn't go quite like planned. So I had to also develop trust in who was assisting me to get better. I had to trust in their abilities and try to have some understanding as to what was really taking place. Why am I not healing up like I was expected to in 2 weeks? Also, I had to focus on, well, friendships. When you're there and you're thinking about what you're going through, who could I reach out to? I had to focus on, you do have a lot of friends and family to depend on, so you're not alone in this thing. And so I realized that, I do have a support system. At those times, you think about those things. Well, I'm not alone, and I'm glad that I finally realized that I was able to reach out to family and friends and even some coworkers for assistance during that time. And I had to realize that as things don't turn out like we expect them to, I had to put my prayers out there to God and realize that He's not going to put me through more than I can bear, and to put my trust in Him, and He will get me through it, and He did, and I'm grateful for that.
Wow, Joyce, thank you for sharing that with us. I think about a lot of times when people go through surgeries and a lot of times when we take for granted that they're okay. That's a perfect example of, you're having to reach out and let people know, because you had to let people know you needed support. You had to let people know you needed love. You had to let people know that you were going through something. And because of that, your spirit just kind of brought them in. And, I'm glad you're doing well. You look beautiful. And thanking God every day that you're here. And I'm not sure how you feel now. I'm not sure if you had any type of resentment, any anger, any rage towards the process, did you have anything like that occurred?
Well, I did experience frustration because, every time I would go to the doctor and I would think that, I'm really getting better, and I realized that, my vision was not what it was supposed to be, and I was getting frustrated. Why is this taking so long? What's going on? And I was praying out to God, help me, help me to get better and back to what normal is supposed to be, normal vision, so I can go back to work and do those normal things like driving. So yes, I did experience some frustration, and after a while I had to say, you just have to let it go. You have to give yourself more time to heal and realize there's a purpose for that. And I developed more strength than what I had, more patience. So those are a couple of things that came out of getting over the frustration.
Did you have to have another surgery, or did you have to have repeat surgeries?
And that was part of it. Part of the war was not knowing that, oh, here comes another obstacle.
Mhm.
Not only did I have the first procedure, but I had to have a second and third
Mhm.
procedure done, in which, like, well, what's really going on? And they're doing
Mhm.
their due diligence in the beginning, so this should not have happened. You know, there's a lot of questions in my mind, and so you're going through your physical pain and not being normal, not being able to see certain
Mhm.
things that you're used to seeing, and so, but I finally was able to overcome that. You know, as I got better, you know, I had to give myself time to heal.
Mhm.
So the positives, yes, I came through that after the second surgery,
Mhm.
after the third procedure, and I'm a lot better now. And you try to say, well, are you glad that you went through certain things? I'm not
Mhm.
exactly glad, but it has made me stronger, and I can appreciate that.
Now, how long were you not able to drive?
I wasn't able to drive for maybe about 2 months.
Wow.
Right.
And we take that for granted. You know, we jump in our car, those that can, and we just drive and go where we need to go. So for 2 months, you could not drive to get medicine. You could not
Correct.
drive to the doctor's appointments,
Right.
to the grocery store.
Correct.
You could not drive to get your son for 2 months. For
Yeah.
2 months. I mean,
Mhm.
we take the small things for granted sometimes. I can't even imagine not being able to drive for 2 months.
Yes.
Yes, so
Mhm.
I thank you for sharing that story with us.
Yes.
You know, again, sometimes the little things matter most. And, you know, when I say that, I mean just support, love, you know. These are not really little things, but the little things as far as driving, because we have you. So
Right.
I would rather have you than
Yeah.
driving anywhere. But,
Yeah.
you know, we all take it for granted. And, you know, my sister, I want to tell you I'm thankful. I'm thankful for you. And is there any encouraging words you can tell someone that may be getting ready to have a surgery and may, you know, when you go to have surgery, usually the doctor tells you all of these worst scenarios,
Right.
okay? And most people don't have the worst scenarios, but you have experienced the worst scenario.
Yeah.
Can you encourage, do you have any encouraging words for
Yeah.
someone who may be about to go through a surgery and they are considering the worst scenarios?
Yeah. Well, I would go in with an open mind, expect the best, have a positive attitude, have patience, be knowledgeable about what you're getting ready to go through, and reach out to your family members. Don't be afraid and feel like you can do this all by yourself. And you have to let your guard down at some point and say, for those people that feel like they can combat everything, you know, we as
Mhm.
women think that we have to be stronger than strong and do
Mhm.
everything all the time. It doesn't have to be that way. Loved ones, if it was not for my loved ones and family and friends being there for me, I wouldn't have gotten through the process so easily. And knowing that you have those people out there, it helps you to get through things. So just knowing that, develop your support system, you know, and be prayerful. And like I said, have a positive attitude, and realize that it won't be like this always. Whatever procedures that you're going through, you get through it. And that's it.
Okay, when did you start back driving?
I started back driving, it was about after the 2-month period. And
Was that recently?
That was recently. Actually, I was out of work about 2.5 months. So I had to rely on family and friends to get me to the doctor's office. My son too, to the grocery store, you know.
But
and,
did you,
you know, right, with
right.
a teenager, you know how that could be. But I'll interject that part.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, so was it like in the last 2 weeks?
In the last 2 weeks, I have been
Wow.
driving the last 2 weeks, but prior to
Wow.
that, no, I have not been driving.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
To God be the glory.
Yes, thank you.
To God be the glory. To God be the glory. Wow. Thank you,
Amen.
thank you. Well, thank you for being my guest today, Joyce Gilliard. Thank you to WYTV7 Christian Broadcasters for allowing us to share our story, Life After War. Thank you.